I love this.
Yeah.
Robot arms, testing, awesome, folks.
We really want to make it open source. It's also cool to see America become more efficient.
Everyone loves the A word, automation, but really, how do you do it? What do you buy? Do you actually buy this? Do you put up the light curtain? Do you go with a cobot? Do you load vices? Do you load raw material? What are the consequences? I love this.
Yeah.
Robot arms, testing. I've only been here for like 10 minutes and they've already brought up Raspberry Pi and automation and sensors. It's awesome, folks. We are here at 5th Axis in San Diego.
Yep.
San Diego,
Yes, sir.
California. I'm here with Matt.
How's it going, guys?
And Chris, and we're gonna get to see automation, robots, and some pretty awesome machine tools. Let's take a tour. You have this entrepreneurial story of being a manufacturer that then ended up moving into Workholding.
Yeah, correct. We started as a job shop, and now about 1/3 of our business is still contract manufacturing.
Yep.
And
Got it.
then 2/3 of it now approximately is the Workholding product line.
And that's all here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. And
Yeah.
you are, this is your story, you started it?
Steve, my business partner, and myself started 5th Axis about 15 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, did
And-
all this by ourselves.
So did you call it Fifth Axis then?
We had a consulting company, and so for the first few months it was run under that name. But yeah, very early on we named it 5th Axis. Our first machine that we ordered was a Haas VF2 TR,
Okay.
a 5-axis
The
Haas
trunnion machine,
Yeah.
they're like unicorns. They're like, yeah, never seen
Yeah,
those
so that
things.
was our very first.
awesome.
That was what started the
Yeah.
company. Was we saw, Haas came out with a 5-axis machine that somebody could sort of afford. Versus,
Right.
what was Legacy, where you would find a 5-axis at General Electric and they were $1 million.
Right.
And so Haas really kind of tipped that scale, and that's kind of what got us, started. We saw a 5-axis machine running, and we're like, oh my gosh, look at the capabilities and all the things. This is going to be the future. We got to get into this.
Yeah.
And so
And that was like 2004?
04.
04. And it's, I cannot emphasize this enough, folks. The folks that have followed our story, we've been doing this for 10 years now. It has been completely rejuvenating to have a 5-axis machine now. Just the way you think, the way you use CAM, the way you run process reliability, fixturing, probing, and just not having to set up soft jaws, multiple parts, picking up coordinate systems. Like, I only say this because it wasn't until I knew it, but until you do it, that's when it clicks.
Yeah, and then our guys, they get more and more partial, and you gotta be like, okay, come on, we can do this on a 3-axis,
No, all 5.
Don't be
Yep.
so spoiled.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And they all want to use some real high-end machines.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to drive the Ferrari to work.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're like, the Ferrari's from the racetrack.
Right.
Drive your Toyota truck to work.
Yeah. Awesome. Sweet. So what's going on here?
So right now we're running trucks that go in our small vise.
Okay.
And we're running 4 parts at a time on a little pyramid.
Okay.
That's actually rock lock mounted, so we can quick change between different parts. The Hermley does a lot of our precision tooling,
Okay.
dovetail fixtures, trucks. So
What's the material?
these are 4140, and they're heat treated to around 40, 45 Rockwell.
Semi-hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And do you tap or thread mill the
In 40, 45, we'll do both.
Okay.
Tap and thread mill. These we thread mill,
okay.
so that we can control it a little
Yeah.
bit better.
Got it.
We actually run the threads a little bit on the loose side,
Yeah.
so that it has a little more forgiveness.
Got it.
Sure. Yeah. We're just cruising around.
Right.
Sweet.
Sweet. So when we switch to a different part number, we've got a couple other
Couple other
setups here,
tune
the real
sounds.
standard ones
Yep.
we use. So this one will run 8 parts at a time.
Yeah.
This one 3 at a time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we've got a nice family of parts that
Yeah.
we run here, and it's all like quick changes are all knock off. Does this thing go all the way up?
Yeah, something like right there. Let me get that.
Hermie.
Yeah, right?
I love that. That's awesome.
Done that.
Okay, so it's a standard Hermla platter, but then you put the rock lock on it.
Yeah.
And so right now you've got the quad, or what do you call that? The
Four-sided,
Four-sided, yeah.
little tube
tree.
stone, yeah.
Right. But you just, it's just like our rock lock. You just do 2 screws or something, and then you can pop
Yep.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
tombstone.
Yeah, it's a standard rock lock base.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
The Hermley has laser tool measurement, probing, a lot of nice bells and whistles.
Yeah.
That, you know, and then it's a very stable precision machine.
Yeah.
Great for doing, you know, plus or minus 1/2 tooling like we're doing here.
Yeah. Do you know what year it is?
This thing's older, and man, it has been reliable.
Steady? Okay,
We can
awesome.
look at the plate. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's like a 05, 06.
Not that old. I mean,
2005.
2005.
Yeah.
Got it. So did you go from a Haas VF2 TR to this that quickly?
So the Hermley we got in like 07.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that long.
So pretty quickly.
Yeah.
We got a contract to do, not these parts, but some bladed parts.
Got it.
And found limitations of
Sure.
the speed of the Haas, especially back then.
Yeah.
And then also the software, we were using Mastercam,
Yeah.
especially back then,
Yeah.
not really capable. And so that's when we switched to Hypermill and got the
Yeah.
Hermley.
This is like what you want for
and-
blisks.
yeah.
That's
Uh-huh,
awesome.
yeah.
So HSK 40 machine? Or
These
so
are
25?
these are HSK 40s that go in the small microns.
Oh, okay. Got it. Sweet.
The Hermley runs 63.
Okay. Pretty beefy machine then.
Yeah. So these, it's pretty cool. Right now they're probing the plank.
Blue wax.
Yeah. So this is kind of, you guys intermix job shop work with work holding products.
Yeah, and then some machines are more dedicated
Got it.
for the work holding. Like the Hermley really does all work holding.
Dedicated,
You know, this machine will do a mix.
Yeah.
And then we'll see some other machines that are like dedicated to all work holding.
Yeah.
And this one, it looked like had a built-in automation from
Yeah,
Micron.
this one has a 7 pallet.
Yep.
This
Got
is
it.
the System 3R.
Okay. So it's got the robot arm there that just automatically
Yeah,
pulls in and drops
uh-huh.
on. Awesome. Sweet.
The wax is really hard on the machines and messy.
Really?
So we only run,
It's just
brutal.
Really?
So if you're familiar with waxing a surfboard,
No.
you like,
I live in Ohio, dude.
okay, so you rub it on there and it continues to build up.
Oh.
So you rub wax on your like linear bearings
Got it.
and like
Never comes off.
it like kind of adds like little by little, and so next thing you know your linear bearing just grenades. And
Holy
you're like,
cow.
oh, there goes
Yeah.
$25,000.
Huh. So you
So-
have to scrape it or clean it, or?
So we only run 2 parts, and then we'll shop back and clean
Oh
the
my
machine
God.
and make sure wax isn't getting packed into places it shouldn't be.
I always think of like the machinist wax as being like the learning, like
Right.
easy material,
It's
can't break
easy
a
on
tool.
it's easy on the cutting tool,
Yeah.
sort of, you know, but yeah. If you're
Interesting.
doing production and you got lots of it, it gets in nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
And the machines are really built to deal with metal chips.
Sure.
Not something that actually kind of melts and
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah. Spend more time probing than we do machining.
You guys turn the blanks?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We turn them on Haas tool room lathes, just because it's open and it's so easy to clean. Again, you got all this wax, and you put all that wax in like an enclosed turning center, and like,
Yeah.
you know, the tool room is so much easier to clean and maintain.
You guys have a lot of machines. Another Micron 600?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
another Micron. This one is running the medium-sized vice trucks 2 parts at a time.
Okay.
Similar to the small one, we're running 4 parts at a time. Laser tool measurement.
Yep.
Don't include that in the weird.
Whoa, that was a fucker factor. These strike me as one of those parts that actually could be done on a 4th axis. Thread mill, sweet. So this is interesting. Is this, the other Micron was supported on the far side. Is this one also? Or is it only supported on the back side?
All the Microns, except for our 500s, are cantilevered like
They
that.
are cantilever, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so we could look at the 400 use. It's a smaller one,
Yeah,
and it's similar but
Yeah.
smaller. We've got 3 of those.
got it. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that motion. That's insane. Holy cow. Is that a linear machine, do you know?
No, this is a ball screw machine.
It is. Oh my God.
The other 2 are linear.
That's sick. I was gonna ask if you run Fanuc or Siemens, or is it all Heidenhain?
All of our high-end machines are Heidenhain.
Yeah.
I would say that probably the Siemens at this point is equally as good.
Okay.
You know, in the past, Heidenhain was absolutely the best 5-axis control, period.
Yeah.
Now, you know, all the controls are so fast that you're not seeing latencies and things like that. And so we just stick with Heidenhain,
Yeah.
so it's standard.
Right.
You know, we like the Heidenhain.
Sweet. Are those a work holding part? Or
No, that's a job shop part, and so we're getting 4 parts per cycle. And then these machines have a 20 pallet automation system.
oh yeah, 80 parts on a load, huh?
Right,
That's
right. If you
awesome.
fill the thing, I don't know how many we have. Oh, quite a few. 2, 4,
Oh my God,
6,
yeah, look at
8,
that.
10. So they've got 11 going.
So on these, you'll do an op 0 to do a stock prep.
This one has a dovetail prep.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can see the stock here. There's a
Okay.
bunch of it here.
Okay, and then it's got the 2 locating pins. Do you need 2?
Well, they're running 2 dovetail fixtures, so yeah.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Right.
Sweet.
This pyramid allows you to do 1, 2, or 3
Okay.
on there. You can see this one still has.
There's
We
a
can
third,
open
yeah.
the door.
Got it.
So this one still has the 3rd fixture
Yep.
on there.
Yeah, that's the perfect, like I totally get it now that I actually have a machine. Like when you think about the angle it's being held at and presented to the spindle
Yeah.
and how your A or B is important. Oh, that's awesome.
So we have 2 of the Grove G350s, and then they have the Plus 99 tool magazine, which
Yeah.
gives us 140-ish tools.
These are amazing machines.
Real stable, real reliable.
Yeah.
After years of messing with it, we finally got a combination of the right work. You know, you gotta have the customers, you gotta have the volume, and then you gotta have the automation, everything dialed in. We've been running 24 hours, 24/7. So we'll run with nobody here. Maybe somebody will check in all through the weekend, come in Monday morning, and the thing's full of finished parts.
Awesome.
Shop owner's dream, right?
Yeah, no, it really is. That's awesome.
A lot more work than everybody wants to make it out to, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh, so
exciting.
these are celled together on
Right,
automation.
right. So we have
Look
2
at
identical
that.
Groves and a Roa robot that feeds both.
Look at that. Oh, so you're making the base right now, on the base.
Yeah, so that's making them rock lock bases.
Yeah.
Yep. So we designed the whole robot enclosure so that we can actually move this over and access one
Oh,
machine,
awesome.
and then the robot can still operate the second
That's
machine.
awesome.
Steve and one of our engineers designed and implemented the whole thing with all the double safety interlocks
Yep.
and all the OSHA stuff, and developed it so that an operator can access, you can do setups, you can work on the machine, doesn't interfere with the robot
Yep.
run in production on the other machine. Our first attempt at this, when somebody would work on one machine, shut the whole cell down, and then they'd go to lunch and forget to hit the button.
Yeah.
And now the other machine's sitting there for like 2 hours, and you're like, you know,
Yeah.
so we kind of designed the fencing and the safety interlock system so that we would always keep going.
Yeah, you don't have that pressure of sweeping the part in quicker. You get the
Right,
other
right,
machine
right,
back
right,
up. It's
right.
nice. Oh, look at that. It's doing a simultaneous chamfer or something?
Yeah, probably deburring.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's sick.
Yeah, because if you look
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple
down
part.
inside here where these features cross over.
Yeah.
So we can come in
Oh.
5-axis and deburr that.
Awesome. With a lollipop or
Yeah,
an
yeah,
undercut?
something
Oh,
like that,
it's
yeah.
sick.
Like, it's got to look perfect. You can't have like, oh, the deburr guy slipped and there's a
Right.
scratch on it. We can't sell that. Those end up in the scrap bin. So the more deburr we can do on the machine, the less like hand touch, the less risk of any like imperfections. You can see we're burning a little bit of cycle time, but you know, it's worth it. So that one finished before this one. The robot did a gripper change. It grabbed the gripper for the small pallet.
Got it.
So this system can load 2 different size pallets.
Oh my God, it puts it back. Yeah, how many does that hold? 60?
That one holds 4 rows of 15, so we
Yeah.
got 60 in there.
That's awesome. Kind of reminds me of like the Hermla HS Flex, where you've got the ability to change end effectors, tools, work holding, pallets.
Oh, it's doing washdown.
I love it. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Yeah, the Aroa system can hold, I don't know, 300 pounds. Or
Insane.
that's one of the differences with the robotic arms.
Right.
To be able to lift a reasonable amount of weight, the robotic arms become just massive.
Was this stressful to build out and think about?
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, we 3D modeled everything,
Yeah.
and
You don't want to do it wrong, right? I mean, you can't.
no, because you know, if you're off, I mean, the robot's programmable, but if you're off by too much, then you got to like bring a rigger back in to move one
Yeah.
of the grooves.
I
That's
just
a-
mean
a
like you don't
nightmare.
want to buy the wrong mix of pallets or the wrong style robot.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
could you add a third machine?
We did
into
a
this?
lot of research before we picked the Aroa system,
Yeah.
and
Awesome. Oh, so that's literally how he's now going to load the next
Right,
part in
right,
there.
right, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the 5-axis internal deburring undercut. Awesome. Sweet.
these are our newest addition. We've got 2 of the Micron 500s.
Are these the ones that are like brand new?
Brand new, yeah. Been here a month and a half,
Yeah.
maybe.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this is your riser?
Yeah, this
or
is
your-
a like a 75 millimeter, like
Yeah.
a 3-inch riser
Yeah.
adapter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these are the right angle ones.
Yeah, we were at the Autodesk event and they had their VF2 set up with one of these. Holding it was weird because it was on the left side, but
Yeah.
that's really cool. You do those out of billet?
Yep. Yep.
Insane. a lot of material removal.
Yeah, fair amount.
Not bad finishes, huh?
Only one setup part, one scrap.
No shit.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, right.
I wish I could say that about all our jobs.
Yeah. So is that your workflow? You'll do the one, run it through a QC.
Oh yeah. So we run a first article, something like this. It's precision tooling, full CMM program.
Okay.
You know, inspect the whole thing, and then they'll do on these. They'll do in process. So like almost every part gets checked, and then they have go no go gauging, Deltronics, things like that. So every single part will have key features measured.
And from a sort of business standpoint, are you guys trying to do just in time or light inventory? Are you really stocking up?
You know, it's interesting because you have, you know, these guys that don't work in machine shops come up with these buzzwords like just in time. And the reality is in a machine shop, the amount of work it is to get that first article dialed in, to get all the stars lined up, and all the tools and the links and all the cutters comped and everything going, and then wait for QC, you know, to run the CMM. And so a day and a half later, you're like, okay, everything's perfect. Do you want to make one? No. You got to do some batch size to you know, amortize all that setup time, and you know, and they can dream in their little ivory towers that like somehow there's a magic where you know, recipe where you can just put a block of metal in there and push the button and make good parts. But in the real world, we know that's not.
Difficult.
It just doesn't work that way. So
well, these have to get anodized or plated or
they do,
lasered. Yeah.
So we try and pick batch sizes that, you know, aren't too massive because you don't want to sit on a ton of inventory. But if they're too small, you're just killing yourself with, you know, setup. And you know, somebody had to create all the paperwork.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Somebody's got to write a purchase order, and we've got minimum lot sizes when we anodize them.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all these things where JIT having it all set up where, oh, we got to order for one, make one. I find it hard to imagine a scenario where that like really makes sense.
When you buy the raw material for this, do you have it show up as saw cut, or are you processing that yourself?
We've got in building 3, we have material storage and saw cutting. So we've got a really big automatic Amada saw, like, you know, the super sweet one.
Awesome.
Yeah, we could pop down there and check that out. It's pretty cool.
Holy cow! Oh, that's a job.
Yeah. So this is a project that we've been working on automating, which we'll see over here on these machines.
You enjoy what you do? This is awesome.
You think?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, but just being able to have a mix of it, like, not that it would be boring to just make vices, but like it's fun to have that, you know, you live and breathe what you eat.
Well, and then you've seen already all these applications where we're using our vices, and in my opinion, that keeps us honest and keeps our new products are, like, you know, tested, and like all the little bugs are worked out. And you know, we see our competitors, like, they see us do something, they go, oh, we got to make one of those, but they never use it, and they miss like key little features, you know. So I think, as much as I honestly hate job shop work, it's what makes our products like real, you know. It's not like they're like some guy says, oh, I think you should do this. It's like, this is what we're doing, and we fine-tuned it to the point where we feel like we want to share it with the rest of the world, you know.
So this is one larger FANUC robot that's feeding 2 robos?
Yes, that's correct, yeah. And so here we're using a smaller tombstone.
You put an HRT on there just to load the parts?
Just to load the parts.
I love you. That's amazing. Oh my god. So it just has a manual indexer. Yeah, the old school Haas indexer.
Yep.
Oh my god. Can you rotate it? Yes. So for folks that don't know, this is actually kind of how Gene Haas got started, was building, I think it was a 5C indexer, and to this day, Haas still sells these for larger machines, for manual machines where you want that indexing 4th axis feature. I never thought about just practical.
Well, so our engineers, of course, are like, oh yeah, I can design and build a rotary, And I'm like, well, we got to get this thing going, and we've got one of these and one of those on the shelf. So let's use what we got now, and 2 years from now, when you get your design done, right? Then we can maybe we switch it out, you know. But for now, we got to make parts. So
the robot will load it onto there as well. It'll
yes, yeah. The robot will.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really has 4 positions: the 2 machines, the whole storage
rack, a loading station.
Awesome.
So we're going to interface this with our HMI, or human machine interface.
Okay.
We'll control this.
Oh, it has to be at a certain angle?
Right, for the gripper, right?
Is that right? There's 2 pins. I see.
Yeah, so that's...
At least new.
Right now it's manual, so yeah, it's yeah, it knows, yeah.
And so it released it. Oh, so this is the pneumatic.
Yeah, pneumatic rock
that.
lock. So we've got that on
sick.
our loading station, and then also in the machines. So this is
these machines are still limited to the like 14 tools though, or whatever they hold?
20 tools.
Okay, 20.
24,000 RPM. The button that's okay, so
that's not what lights out machining means.
Listen, I'm not so embarrassed now because I'm looking for the switch that says light, and I asked my guy how to turn the lights on. Obviously, you hit the memory button.
Don't get me started on panic. These things are fast. Holy cow.
Yeah, really fast, and then...
but I see what you mean. You can see chips. I mean, maybe it's okay, but...
well, and then if you look in the back, the chips will build up, and so you constantly, you know, every hour or so...
Holy cow, that was a fast index.
The DDR is so quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you blink, you miss it. That is the FANUC.
No kidding.
The FANUC DDR 4th axis,
Folks, we got to get this on camera on another index. This was insane.
So I got to grind that key down for them over there.
That's cool. We can do that later today.
Oh my god.
So it's almost done. So it's gonna. So he's loading up.
Okay. Those are soft jaws on a.
Yeah. Those are. Yeah, it's our double station.
Yep.
75-150. It's like a 3x6 inch version of the vise.
Yep.
And then those are some custom soft jaws that we built.
Yep.
Op 1 runs on a dovetail on the on a little bit bigger tombstone. And then we're also going to be able to robot load that. We went after Op 2 first.
Got it.
Because the that's a bit more of our bottleneck. So.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah.
In addition to doing this because we think it's cool, we unfortunately also have to pay the bills.
Is this you're going to keep this, or is this going to end up being kind of sold to a customer? The whole thing?
This is a production job that's for us, but the concept I could see. We've actually already started talking about the potential to need another setup like this, and then we really want to make it open source.
Yeah.
You know, for other people that copy it. You know, if it works good. You know, obviously we've got a little motivation there because we'd like to sell you some vices.
Sure.
But it's also cool to see America become more efficient.
Yep.
You know, and
well, it's like what we were talking about earlier. I think there's this kind of question of like, everyone loves the A word, automation, but you know, really, how do you do it? What do you buy? Do you actually buy this? Do you put up the light curtain? Do you go with a cobot? Do you load vices? Do you load raw material? What are the consequences? It's interesting to see people go through that workflow.
So with this setup, because we're loading tombstones, we can easily switch to this part. So, right?
That's awesome.
So we could run that robotically, and you don't have to reprogram the robot, you know? And so we have other part numbers. That's why we're looking at like, oh, could we justify another one of these? And
That's awesome. That's a VF2 YT?
That's a VF2 YT with the Haas, the roller cam HRC, the faster.
Yeah, it's also fast. Look at that.
So here we've got 12 of our small vices, and we're running.
Holy cow! Look at the density of
that. Here we're using double vices, so we get 2 parts per vise off one.
Yeah,
And then here we get
that's the soft jaw.
soft jaw. This is
Okay.
our anti-lift soft jaw.
Yep.
And we get 1 part per vise here. So we get,
Oh, so yeah, these two go into there.
yeah, they
Right,
flip
so
over.
you
So we
pull
get 8 finished parts per cycle.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's literally just, I mean, a great machine,
Yeah.
but a much more common job shop machine.
Right,
in
right,
the
right.
States. Yeah.
Yeah, and
awesome.
so, you know, we hear people, oh, like, that's really cool, but man, the price of it, you know. But if we can run twice as efficient, we could ship another $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
This thing will pay for itself in like a couple weeks.
Right. Yeah.
So I think a lot, in America especially, people are sort of like short-sighted when it comes to investing in tooling. Like we were talking about earlier, in Europe, they're way more willing to invest in, you know, a $200,000 robot for their $500,000 machine, even if they're a little job shop. And they're looking 10 years into the future, where in America it seems like a lot of people are like, oh, what's it going to do for me tomorrow? You know?
But like when I put myself in the shoes of a shop owner, you know, one of the concerns I have is my friends aren't doing it, or the friends I have that are doing it on the Yazdas and the Hermlas.
Yeah.
Like, who of my friends is actually putting $100 grand into automating a Haas vertical? 'Cause
Right.
I want to see how they succeed so I can
Right.
follow in their footsteps.
For sure. It'd be very interesting to
That's
see
getting
more.
ready to unload.
It's amazing how steady they are, even when multi-axes are moving.
We missed the spin cycle. They added that high-speed spin to like kind of, yeah.
Can't even imagine. That's scary to think of that going to spin.
We added it to we missed it, but they added it to the end of the program to kind of spin dry the. This setup is pretty cool.
This is what we gotta get from
Okay.
you.
We should actually make them tear it down and set it
Yeah,
back
that's what
up.
we were gonna do.
No, because we want to show how easy it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tony, tear this thing down and set it back up. So we
It's
can
like
show
third
them.
time doing it.
So we
2
can
days.
show them
Sorry.
how easy it is. Oh, he's going to run a set of parts. I wonder where they have a map of the rock lock positions.
Oh yeah, I can get it.
Can you ask him? I thought they had a couple of them out here. So we've standardized the positions of the rock lock plates, and then we have what you see in the machine is 3D modeled,
Yeah.
right?
You don't even have to you know where everything is in CAD CAM.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so that's a VF3, that's a VF2.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Just
Right?
take out one row. Yeah, sure. Right. So this is really cool. They're showing how they're handling internal versatile production without true automation like a robot or an Aroa system, but where they can switch jobs, switch setups really quickly. So they've got effectively the same rock lock base that we've got on our UMC. It's just a flat version to fit on a 3-axis. And switching between one vise to the different vise system is what you would expect. But what's pretty cool is how they handle this from a programming standpoint. Because back in the office where they've got the guy programming it, they've got a master sheet that references each one of the offsets. Fifth Axis actually wrote a script to handle how they push tooling names and ensure the names match the numbers. It's absolutely genius. Then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about touching off parts again or loading the right program or tearing down and resetting up bases. Really cool. How are you doing tool setting?
We set all our tools off the table of the machine.
Okay.
A lot of people go off top of part,
Yeah.
but if you take a cut on your part, now where's the top of your part? You know? So for us, having a reference that always, you know, repeats. Now, if you want to go like preset or whatever, then you're setting or if you use the tool setter,
Yeah.
now you're setting like gauge down, so
Yeah.
it's upside down. But on the Haas, simple 3-axis stuff, 4-axis, we just use the table.
We're gonna run it? Awesome.
It's gonna run off
20 minutes or so.
Might be a little bit longer than that. You want me to run the first spot?
No, run them out. We need the parts. We'll come back by in a little bit, and then we can switch over to a different job, and then we can also. Yeah, that's what we want to do is switch the first plate over, and run some dovetails, and then switch back and show how easy it is to go from one to another, and then right back again. Yeah, so Jeff, one of our programmers, could show us kind of the 3D of all this stuff, which would be cool.
Sweet. Oh, you got a couple of the M560Vs? These are awesome machines.
Real Precision, we order them with the extra precision package, so you get another decimal place. We order them with the real high-end Renishaw probe.
Yep.
So probing's more precision.
Yeah, OMP60.
Yeah, I don't know the model, but I
Yeah.
know it's the
Yeah.
extra precision one. And so this is, cool. We're doing
Awesome.
vice bases.
No kidding.
Right. So
Oh, got it. So there's your key saw cutter to run
Yeah,
your.
uh-huh.
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, that's a PH horn cutter.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The tool setter.
Uh-huh. On the
We put it on a quick release so you can put that thing away if you're not
Yeah.
using it. Because
Yeah.
we estimate, we figure Renishaw makes all their money off selling that $3 part for $1,000 every time you break one. So it's nice to be able to put it away.
Yeah. Look at that. That's awesome.
Oh, this is cool. This is a 3R pallet that'll work on actually the Micron 600 we saw down there, and then the two new ones also.
Yeah.
And so we're building our own 3R pallets so that we can do really cool custom stuff. So it's hard to tell here. We can show you a 3D model of it. So this will be all one integrated unit, and it'll be a 3-sided pyramid with rock lock built in it.
Integral though.
Integral.
That's awesome.
So
That's
now,
super cool.
you look at the Micron and you go, oh, bitch, and it comes with a robot. This is great. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I got a 20-minute part, so what's that buying you?
Yeah.
So now with something like this, we can run, 3 times that part count and get you, maybe closer to a full shift.
Yeah.
Really, it's nice if a robot can run a whole shift, that's nice. A lot of guys run first, second shift. Third shift's impossible. If you can have your second shift guy load the thing up and come into the morning and it's still cutting chips,
That's a win.
that's value. So,
Yeah.
so that's what this project is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's the probe right there that we were talking about. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's an OMP60. That was locked, spindle lock. Oh no, you're right, 600.
Yeah.
Okay, damn. Sweet.
Yeah, the fancy ones. But when we're doing precision tooling, you need it. We're making pallets, and,
Yeah,
and,
right,
and
it's gotta
it's got to
be
be right.
dialed on.
Yeah.
Cool. I saw a big grinder back there.
Yeah, we could go by. We have 2 surface grinders running and 2 more that we are about to bring online to increase our capacity.
Nice. Holy cow. Yeah, that's awesome.
So he's actually grinding some of the first article parts for those 3R pallets we looked at.
Oh, okay.
So these guys are 60 Rockwell 440C.
Okay.
You know, stainless steel.
Sure.
They make knives and tooling out of it, right? So these have been machined, heat treated.
Yep.
Now they get precision ground, and then they'll get assembled into the pallet that you saw over on the Akuma.
Yep.
And then those will get loaded in the machine, and then all the angles and the 5-axis stuff gets machined in
place. I know, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Cool,
amazing. Right.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 Okamotos, huh?
Yeah, we've got a fourth one as well. So we've got the 2 running, and then the 2 other ones are going to be hopefully running here within the next month or so. We just got another unit across the street. So we kind of numbered them in order of when we got them. So this is building 1. He's in building 2. Building 3 is next door, where we do sawing, material storage. Building 4 is down below, and then building 5 is back across the street.
Serious? Yeah. Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah, we're 55, 60,000 feet total.
That's awesome. What's this for?
So because the you know, raw exposed steel will rust, we're constantly brushing or rolling on rust inhibitor.
Yeah, sure.
And then we're like 4 miles from the ocean, which is awesome because we're not air conditioned.
Yeah.
So the ocean keeps the temperature stable, but you do get, you know, more humidity and a touch of salt in the air. So it's a constant battle to fight rust being here, you know.
It's amazing how cool it is for being in Southern California in the summer. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, being that close to the ocean really makes a big difference,
Cool.
But the humidity's, when you're you know, working with a lot of steel, it's a battle.
No way. EDM?
Oh yeah. Gotta have it.
So wire EDM, these are the keys for the 3R pallets. So these have been machined, heat treated, surface ground on both sides, and then the angle wedges that like lock and position it, we wire cut on the EDM. You could like do some side grind operation, but side grinding's a little funky.
Yeah.
And the EDM is so precision, and just every single
You
one.
batch them up in big quantity?
He's running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time.
Got it.
13 at a time, sorry.
Oh, sweet. Oh, okay. There we go.
So this room's climate controlled, and then we can split tents.
Yeah.
And then it's like, the cool thing about EDM, even though it's slow, like the tool never wears out.
There, yeah.
The first part is identical to the last part.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So when you're building precision tooling, he can set it up, walk away, make 13 perfect identical parts, versus, you know, out there you'd be like miking everyone, and then everybody knows how hard it is to measure an angle.
Yeah.
A small taper, it's like a nightmare. You know, where's the corner? You know, so with this, we actually cut 2 flats, which you can easily measure with a micrometer, and because it's all the same tool path, then that ensures that the tapers are perfect.
Got it.
So it's
That's
a trick to allow for super easy inspection of something that normally would be pretty tough to even bring it in there and put it on the vision and the vision system. When you're trying to split tents, you know, where is the edge?
Yeah.
And the small angles can be tough. Yeah, the flat's about halfway down the part. Turning.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice mix, some Haas, some Akuma.
Oh, space. Yeah, sweet. Nice machine.
That's our biggest lathe.
Yeah.
So we do like small to medium-sized parts. So some of the bigger rock block bases and pyramids, we can go up to almost 20 inches on here. But that's about the max size work we do here usually.
Oh, twin turret. Nice. Oh, there's the tool relays.
This is cool. These are the pull studs.
Yep.
So we designed the mechanism to be really free floating on the rock lock. So this part of it doesn't need to be very precision because the locks will adjust and bind, and then they'll also end up with, because they can adjust, you'll end up with real equal pressure on all four.
Yeah, sure.
All four pull studs. So it makes it a little easier to manufacture. Then we only got to do, you can see the two shiny surfaces.
We found those are a very good fit.
So yeah, he's got a couple tint tolerance on there.
Yeah.
And we do those after heat treat on the spinner.
Okay.
So this is a German super precision hard turning, small hard turning lathe.
Cool.
Not very popular in America, but a pretty big brand in Europe.
Yeah. Cool.
It's got the
Look at that.
special anti-backlash bearings and the
Yeah.
extra, decimal place on the controller. And
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah, there's a
Hilarious. Yeah, there's your fixture.
yeah.
Cool. Oh, look at you got a 12-foot bar feeder on the big one.
Yeah,
huh?
that one has a bar feeder.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, your buddy's ready for us.
Okay. This is the, they call it the phone booth, the
Yeah.
little tiny robo drill.
Yeah.
So here we're using, we call this a pin vise. We actually started selling these and nobody could wrap their head around that it's a vise and it works really good.
Yeah.
So we took it out of the catalog and we still use them a ton in-house,
Yeah.
but we don't really offer them for sale anymore.
Yeah. It's just all.
So it's like
soft saw
a
and
small
everything.
double station, soft machinable vise, yeah. So here we get, half a
You
dozen
just
parts.
blow it offline and pull the whole thing off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have a pneumatic
Yeah.
on here, and then
No.
so you
load
could quick
to-
change that plate. Yeah, so
Plate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah,
ask,
so-
would you ever do that? Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about these is they're light.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
now you've got a plate with 3 vices and the plate, and
no
what
big
is
deal.
it, 12 pounds or something?
That's how you keep it running.
So that's one of the places you get value, and it's compact. So a lot of parts, small density, lightweight. So if you have a robot that can't lift very much, that's nice. Or an operator, so a guy can
Right.
pick this up, and you're not going to have, the guy's not going to hurt his back and go out on workers' comp. Yeah, so they stole the pneumatic chuck off of here and put it on the loading station over there. It's funny how everybody else gets our stuff, and our in-house shop is always fighting for scraps.
Yeah.
Ready?
Sure. So you're gonna switch over to a different job.
Yes, sir.
So this is a actual situation that came up where we needed to run like, I don't know, 50 or so. 88, we've got
dovetail.
88 dovetails we need to do.
yeah.
And so using our, the guys come up with cool names for stuff, right? R2R,
Ready to rock.
So funny.
Sorry, get out of your
No,
way.
you alright, stay there.
Okay.
You fine.
So our programmer for this, because there's only 88 parts, we're only going to do one station. So he's right now using P88 and P90.
Okay.
It looks like, yeah. And then that'll be the same here.
You push the button up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Make him work.
Enter button. Enter. Thank you.
The dovetail program's easy because it's only like 3 or 4 tools, so you can actually leave the tools in a couple machines around the shop, and you know, wherever you can squeeze it in, you know, the tools are already preset in the machine.
Is the blue anodized base a product of yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That comes. We actually have it like a kit where you get the rock block base,
Yep.
and then the 2 blue bases and 4 vices, kind of as a package.
Even for like op zeroing stuff to go on a 5-axis, like let's say it's the dovetail plus a couple of critical ops on the other side, keep your density higher here.
Yeah.
I like that.
With the heat treated parts, we'll do a lot of that where we'll do some rough machining and do the dovetail, then heat treat it.
Yep.
Comes back from heat treat. Now you've got the dovetail on there, and you can do all your precision, you know, stuff like on the Hermley. What we saw was exactly that, where they've got multiple dovetails on a little tree, and yeah, then you've moved that rough machining, you know, pre-heat treat and onto a less expensive machine. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Just program it as one.
Oh, right, yeah, up one side, down the other, yeah.
A big thank you and a shout out to 5th Axis for the hospitality and for letting us come and film there. Modern manufacturing isn't always easy, and being in the San Diego area, as they've grown, they've had to separate out in the building. So most of what you saw was their main production facility, but we also spent some time in seeing how they store their inventory, how they assemble, do the QC, the vice alignment. They even showed us one of the prototypes for their new soft jaw style system on one of their smaller vices. And I said, are we allowed to show this on camera? And they said, yeah, absolutely. And I think that really says it all. I think a lot of their success has come from how they've embraced modern manufacturing, sharing, paying it forward, and how they've embraced this social media community. So hope you folks learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. See you soon.